Hello and good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Basic Dude podcast. So glad you could join me today. I sure do appreciate you being here. So, as we know, it's the weather is starting to begin to change and the end of April is upon us. And with that comes a very, very sad time in my life because that means, unless you have a team in the playoffs, that hockey season is over for you. But with that said, the teams that I follow, luckily, look to be headed to the playoffs in the NHL. In the AHL, we are currently, right now, as of this recording, we are playing one of our last games of the regular season. We need a win tonight and another team to lose to solidify our spot into the playoffs for the year. And thus far, it's looking good. It's looking good. So, all right. With that said, I'd like to take a moment to thank our unofficial sponsor, my personal mentor and friend, Mr. James Jennings over at Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. If you would like to get your shit together and become a more healthier and happier person, be able to move a little bit more with really very little effort, I would like you to go over to his webpage or to his Facebook or to his Instagram, and you can find all that at Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. And I would like you to contact him. And I would like you to take the money that for 3 months, I would like you to take the money that you would normally spend on fast food, soda, beer, liquor, cigarettes, chewing tobacco, ice cream, donuts, overpriced, way too calorie high coffee. And I would like you to gather that money. And I would like you to hand it over to my friend James so that way he can change your life the way that he changed mine. So, with that said, thank you, James, for being the unofficial sponsor of the Basic Dude podcast. As of today, as James's guinea pig, we are on day 65. So we are approaching that 90-day mark here coming up. Actually, Mother's Day will be officially 90 days. With that said, I'm 2 months through here, a little over 2 months. So that means I'm 2/3 of the way done. And I'm by no means like bodybuilder shape or even like, back to my high school weight, which I was pretty chubby in high school, so that's not really saying much. But, God, I keep saying, per the request of James, he, not request, but per suggestion from James, as we do our weekly talk, which is part of the deal with the Get Your Shit Together package, we were going through and we were I was discussing some things. I really kind of went off on like a tangent, right? And he said, hey, I think you should do a podcast episode on this. You didn't say it once. You're very passionate about what you had to say. And it sounds like you're actually speaking from the heart. You're speaking from experience. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do we're going to talk about embarrassment and excuses. That's what we're going to talk about. We'll hop in our time machine. We'll go back and we're going to tell the basic dude's story today. I've always been kind of overweight, always husky, struggled a lot with my weight. Probably not overly obese, but definitely unhealthy. There was a time in my life before I met my wife where I was going through a lot of things and was making some very bad decisions. Very, very skinny, but my diet consisted of Marlboro Red 100s and 30 packs of Keystone Light every day. Obviously not good, healthy options. And throw in a bowl of cereal here and then, and the occasional left-handed cigarette. Met my wife, and, gentlemen, it's just a fact of life that when we fall in love with a woman, we start to get a little out of shape. We start to grow a little. We have all that cooking and comfort and happiness, and we start to get very comfortable, and that's what I did. So most of my life I was always around like 340 to 360 pounds. Fast forward to, let's see, it was June 30th, 2021. I was driving my work vehicle. It was during the Wu flu. And me being a 3-pack-a-day smoker at the time, put a cigarette in my mouth at around 8 a.m., lit that cigarette, started to cough because I had said Wu flu, and had something called a, well, I guess we'll call it an episode. I can't remember what the fuck they called it, but a syncope episode is what it was called. I began to cough. That restricted my heart, which cut off blood flow to my brain, caused me to pass out going 60 miles an hour on a divided highway. I sideswiped a vehicle, came to on the other side of the highway where I was not supposed to be. Luckily, that was the last time, after trying for many, many years to quit smoking, that I ever smoked a cigarette. So, with that said, obviously, because it was work-related, I was taken out of work for a little bit until things were figured out, and I had to prove that I was healthy to drive, and I also had to prove to the DMV I was healthy to drive, and the doctor that I had at the time was very, very thorough about things, and in all honesty, they kind of made it more of a bigger deal than it really was. It was it was an isolated issue due to illness and smoking, right? So I unfortunately had some time off of work that I really couldn't afford to do. My days consisted of getting up in the morning, sitting on the couch till bedtime, and then going to bed. I was in a very dark place, and as people know, when we quit smoking, we eat everything in sight, and we gain a lot of weight. So now I've gone from 340 pounds to over 400 pounds. And yeah, it's kind of tough. So I put on the weight very, very quickly. It was noticeable. Couldn't move the same, couldn't bend over, couldn't do a lot of things. You know, the great thing about being overweight is that it is totally in our control to change that. Basically, with diet and exercise, we can change that, right? Making healthier choices, moving more, things of that nature. That we see it all over the fucking internet all the time. We have these people that are 600 pounds and drop 200 pounds or 300 pounds or, I don't know, pick a number. So, with that said, I noticed that until I had met James originally on my podcast that I did with my cousin, the Toad and Joe podcast, a little over a year ago, actually. James and I kind of sparked a friendship through the interview process and kind of talked to each other and, just bounced ideas, stuff like that off each other. And we grew a, I guess, internet relationship or friendship, whatever you want to call it. You know, if be fucking weird about it, okay? But I yo-yo dieted. I tried exercising. Nothing was long-term ever, right? It was sporadic, almost like fad, especially around the holidays. You fall out of touch and then you just kind of give up and stuff like that. But I was getting nowhere. And it's amazing like today. Today I'm coming to you remotely from a hotel room and I'm not home. I don't have like my kitchen to cook my stuff. I don't have my little workout area that's private for me. I don't have any of that stuff. That right there, I could just use an excuse. Well, I'm out of town. I don't have my stuff where I need my stuff, and I don't have available to me what I need to have available to me. That's an excuse, right? I can't, hotels have gyms. At the very least, there's a treadmill, some free weights, or dumbbells rather. And an excuse can be, well, I'm embarrassed to work out in front of other people. Because you never know when somebody's going to come in there, right? Same thing with going to the gym. Well, I don't belong at the gym. I'm, 500 pounds, and, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to be embarrassed, and, I just can't. I can't do it. My point is that we have so many excuses, right? That we have so many excuses to stay fat. We have so many excuses to stay unhealthy. We have so many excuses to stay unkept, unmanaged, unchecked. And we have no excuses not to until we have an embarrassing moment. Now, as fat people, we have embarrassing moments. And I'm going to run through some things that I thought about as an overweight person. And I want you to, if you're listening to this, I want you to think about these things. I want you to listen to what I have to say and see if this pertains to any of you, if you've ever felt this way. I'm embarrassed to go to the gym because I don't know what I'm doing and I don't belong there and it's not going to look right and people are just going to judge me and I shouldn't, I'm going to look funny when I'm walking on the treadmill and I don't know how to use the weight machines and I don't know the exercises to do and I don't want to get a personal trainer because I feel funny about it. We're going to go to dinner on a weekend and it's summertime and we're going to go sit on the restaurant has a patio. And when the person who seats us, as I approach the front door, I'm looking at the patio because I know everybody's going to want to sit outside because it's a nice day. Now, when I lived in Florida, this happened a lot, right? Because everywhere has a patio and outdoor seating. So I've already scoped it out. They have the flimsy, cheap patio furniture that my ass does not fit in and is not rated for my weight. They're flimsy chairs and I'm not going to be able to sit in one. So I rush ahead of everybody and I walk in and when they ask, I say, seating inside. My wife would say, well, why? We want to sit outside. And I would have to come up with an excuse. It's too hot or it's too sunny or, the bugs are out. But in all reality, it was because I knew the chairs wouldn't hold me and I knew I wouldn't be comfortable. And even if I could wedge my ass in one of those chairs, I couldn't move because if I moved, one of those legs is going to give out. The slightest movement is going to make that thing collapse. All right, they're going to sit us inside. Well, we have a high top available. Nope, I can't sit at a high top. I can't comfortably step up on the high top and sit in it and then scooch myself up to the table where I need to sit. Okay, well, we have a booth. Okay, no, I can't sit in the booth because there's not enough space in between the back of the seat and the table, and I'm not going to fit. I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm not going to be able to breathe. So, do you have a regular table with sturdy wooden chairs? Going to the doctor's office, you go to sit in the waiting room, and the chairs aren't wide enough for us to sit in. So I have to sit in the wider chair or I'll stand. I had an instance with a health professional, we'll say. They asked me to come into their office to speak to them, and I thought I was just supposed to sign papers. Now, a normal person would just sit down on the couch that was there to sit on in this person's office. I did not sit on that couch. Because I knew I wouldn't be able to get up off of that. It was a low couch, and I didn't want to be embarrassed to get up off of the couch and possibly have a hard time or take longer than I should have. And that person took that in a very strange way. Not in all honesty, not the way that they should have, but they took it as kind of rude because I didn't sit down. That I was trying to assert my dominance or my authority over them. When in all reality, I'm just a fat, overweight piece of shit that couldn't get off your fucking couch. A lot of times, going to hockey games that I love to go to, I can't I have to sit on an aisle seat with nobody in front of me because my knees hit the seat in front of me, the back of the seat in front of me, and I need more room. Every time I get on an airplane to go anywhere, which isn't very often, but I would say maybe once every couple years, I'm worried about if the seatbelt's going to fit me or if I'm going to have to be embarrassed and ask for an extender. I'm going to need to sit in the aisle and I'm going to need to have the arm up because I'm wide and I don't fit comfortably in the seat with the arms down. Using the tray table is non-existent. It just does not work for me. I can't use it because of my size. My gut gets in the way. God, what else? Going to someone's home and trying to sit on their furniture. I don't do it. I'll stand because I don't want to break their couch. I don't want to break their These are all embarrassing things that I've dealt with for a very long time, right? So when these things happen to me, here's what happens in my head. You know what? I can't do this. This is embarrassing and I need to do something about it. I need to change. I think about that for about 10 minutes, maybe an hour. And it's gone until the next embarrassing thing happens again. You know where I wasn't embarrassed? I wasn't embarrassed ordering 3 double cheeseburgers, 2 medium fries, and a large Coke at McDonald's in the drive-thru. I wasn't embarrassed getting a dozen donuts and eating half of them by myself. I wasn't embarrassed getting the extra large milkshake. I wasn't embarrassed ordering the appetizer and an entree for just myself. I wasn't embarrassed going to the movie theater. I was embarrassed about being able to fit in the seat, but I wasn't embarrassed about getting the extra large bucket of popcorn and the jumbo 1-gallon cup of soda. So we have these excuses on why we stay fat. We're embarrassed that we're fat, but we're not embarrassed to do fat things. Do you see how much of a mind fuck this is? Like, it's almost denial. It's a weird place. It's a weird place to be. We have excuses on why we can't get healthy, but yet we're embarrassed to be fat. It's like a conflicting statement, basically. What I've learned so far is, I would be embarrassed to order a diet soda, right? Because that's just the thing. Oh, I bet your fat ass wants a diet soda. I just order water. I can still go to restaurants. I can still go out to eat, make healthy choices, right? I don't need the country fried steak. I'd love the country fried steak. It's delicious, but I don't need that. I shouldn't have it because of my size. Just like I shouldn't wear, fucking pants that are 20 sizes too small for me, right? It just doesn't work. Well, and there's another thing, clothing. Embarrassed to tell my size when it comes to like uniforms and stuff, or the size, if somebody wants to get me a shirt for my birthday or Christmas, or my pant size. Not to mention how difficult it is to find clothes that fit you correctly and find your size, and how expensive it is. Just once, I spent years taking my kids on vacation. And I love theme parks. I love roller coasters. I love rides. And the day I went to get on a certain roller coaster, and this was years ago, and I didn't fit, that was the day I stopped going on rides. Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough day that I have to be that parent that makes my kids stand in line by themselves to go on rides. Going on vacation to places, looking for, I got to get a keychain or a sticker or a coffee cup because I can't get a t-shirt because they don't have my size. I don't know, maybe this sounds stupid to you, but if it does sound stupid to you, then you're the one making excuses. You're in my position. You're my size. You're overweight. You are morbidly obese. You are out of shape. You are unhealthy. And you're doing exactly what I did for years. I made excuses. And I was embarrassed for a few minutes, but the embarrassment went away because it was temporary embarrassment. I think that we live in a dangerous culture now too, where the fat acceptance or the unhealthy acceptance is okay. Oh, embrace your fatness. Embrace people who are overweight. I mean, there's a show on TLC, right? I don't even know the name of the show, but it's some girl, and we're celebrating her being overweight. How does a network put a show on television where we celebrate somebody being overweight, and then 2 nights later we have a show that we're showing these people lose massive amounts of weight with bariatric surgery and diet and exercise? Like, what the fuck kind of world is this? What do we live in? But yeah, the embracing our unhealthy bodies. What a fucking load of shit. What a load of shit. But I'll tell you what. If these people, if these fat people, right? I'm going to use that word because I can, because I'm a fat guy still. So you know what? I'm going to use the word fucking fat. So if these fat fucking slobs are in a park, right? And they're gathered around and they're sucking down KFC and, just drinking the gravy right out of the fucking styrofoam container. And somebody walks over or to another picnic table near them and lights a cigarette. Watch them whip them phones out and come fucking unglued. What are you doing? You can't smoke here. You're affecting my health. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Another thing that we don't see as fat people, we don't see the strain that we put on the American medical system. We don't see the bad habits that our children develop because they're watching us just eat all this junk food and we're providing them Kraft macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets for 5 meals a day. That's affecting other people just as much, right? I can't go, I have to wait with my child who is severely ill in the waiting room of the emergency room because someone who is extremely overweight has an infected abscess under their, where they can't see on their stomach and is going septic. Right? Do you not see the strain that puts on the medical system? Like if you were not overweight like that, you could properly wash yourself and that wouldn't happen. The other thing is being morbidly obese, like I am still, which I am working on, but look at how expensive it is. I have multiple medications I have to take every day. I have a fucking CPAP machine I have to use. I have multiple doctors. I mean, at my age, I have more fucking doctors than my wife's grandmother who recently passed away. I take more medications than she does. I don't accept this. I don't accept this, and no one should. No one should accept having to take medications or use devices or have multiple doctors for a issue that we can just simply fix with a few changes in our life. And think about how much money you would save. I mean, some of my medications, due to my shitty insurance that I have, you're talking about, as it adds up, a couple $100 a month. Then supplies and all this doctor's appointments, medical bills, all that stuff. You're talking over the month, maybe $150 a month. And I hate to say this, that maybe some of this isn't our fault, right? It's not all our fault. As I've noticed as I've started this diet program and what I have to do for work and where I have to go, right? Stay out of town, traveling, all that stuff. It's expensive to eat healthy. It's inconvenient to eat healthy. We shouldn't have that issue here in America. A carrot shouldn't cost me more than a fucking cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a bad, it's not a, I'm being facetious, but you understand what I'm saying. Like fresh produce, healthy food should be, should be made a point to be convenient, right? And cheap, or at least affordable. So I guess what I'm trying to say with this is just kind of a fucking rambling, right? And I really didn't know how to approach this or how to do this. All I knew is that the title of this episode that I was going to use is Embarrassment and Excuses. Because as a morbidly obese person, that's really all we have. That's what we have. We have nothing else. We have embarrassment and we have excuses. I want you to be embarrassed enough to change yourself. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say change yourself for your friends or your family or your kids, right? Because then we're not doing it for ourselves. And we're going to try to force ourselves to do something for somebody else when maybe we're not ready. So I want you to sit and assess yourself, and I want you to figure out, are you fed up? Are you tired of your knees hurting and your back hurting? Are you tired of, getting out of breath going upstairs? Are you tired of having to shop at the big and tall store? Are you tired of multiple doctor's appointments and multiple medications? Are you tired about not being able to sit where you want to at a restaurant? Are you tired of not feeling your best, low on energy, low on testosterone? I mean, I'm talking to men here. I mean, being overweight lowers your testosterone. I'm doing it. I'm doing it this time. And I'm not sitting here trying to throw shade because I've used every excuse in the book that I just listed off. I gave you a word for word example of how I have lived my very, very unhealthy life and how I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. If you see my TikTok, my YouTube, you see every day, 5 days a week, I post what I'm doing, what I'm going through, where I'm falling short, where I'm achieving. You see everything every day, right? That's me holding myself accountable through presenting you a 3-minute video once a day. I'm doing it, and it's not hard. It's fucking easy, man. 30 minutes a day of just moving. You don't have to climb a mountain. You don't have to go to a gym. 30 minutes a day, just move, right? And the second piece, be conscious of what you put in your mouth. Easy. Be conscious of what you eat. Before you put something, on your plate or you decide you're going to eat something, I want you to look at it. I want you to say, is this healthy? Should I be eating this? Is this going to help me? I've started to discover that as a food addict, that I can find healthy alternatives to fill that void, to fill that addiction. Like some popcorn with avocado oil, cooked in avocado oil with some Himalayan sea salt. Fuck, man, by the handful. I am fat, dumb, and happy with a big old bowl of popcorn. And you know what? It's not fucking terrible for me. It's not that half-gallon ice cream I used to fucking eat in one sitting. It's not the mixing bowl of fucking cereal at 11 o'clock at night. So, I want... That's my story. And this is what I'm presenting to you. When you're fed up, when you're tired, do something about it. Change yourself. Take 30 minutes a day and move more 6 days a week, and be conscious of what you actually eat. That's it. Done. 2 things. Simple. With that said, I'll wrap it up here. I don't know if this made any fucking sense or not, but I just did some fat ass spoken word, I guess. And with that said, thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week. Please check out the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble. What else am I on? Facebook. yeah, all that stuff. If you'd like to reach out to me if you're pissed off because I called you out on your fucking bullshit because you can't fucking own it, go ahead and hit me up at adventuresindudeness@gmail.com. Let me know. Let me know I pissed you off. That's fine. We can talk about it. If you want help, reach out to me. Reach out to James at Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. I'm doing things successfully. I think I could probably help you along or point you in the right direction or share with you what I've been doing. And yeah, I'm more than willing to help. That's what I'm here for. I want to serve my fellow men. I want you to live longer. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be able to spend time with your kids and your wife. I want you to retire, and I want you to catch that trophy fish on that offshore charter. And I want you to do all the things, right? And the only way we can do that by taking care of ourselves. So have a great rest of your week. Be the man you were meant to be. And thanks for listening.